Well, welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here, and I hope you're having a good day. The gentleman you're going to meet today, you probably already know because he has taken over the airwaves here in Spokane in terms of Facebook and some other things, and providing help in this community, asking for help and getting it for our fellow citizens. And I've wanted to invite him, and then, things get in the way. And you have to work around his schedule because he's a busy man and gets invited to a lot of things. We're going to talk about what he's doing. We're going to talk about his personal little, not struggle, but journey in life of going back and getting his bachelor's degree, almost reaching 50, and now in the master's program at GU. It's some little university here in town. They used to have a basketball team when I played. But anyway, Rick Clark is going to join us this morning next on the Pulse of Spokane.
Hi, Larry Myers again at River Ridge Hardware. Back in our garden center. It's changed a little bit. We have lots of greenery though. We have Christmas trees at $39.99. We have pretty much everything you'd ever want in Christmas. The icicle lights from white to straight blue to multicolor. I have these cute little shelf snowmen. One of the cool things that we have at River Ridge Hardware, which maybe one other in the United States, is a full custom picture framing shop and all kinds of Christmas decor that you can decorate your tree. Go on our website at riverridgehardware.com. Feel free to call us at 509-328-0915. We're still offering curbside delivery and delivery outside the neighborhood within a 5-mile radius with just a purchase of $25 or more. So let us help you in this shopping time. Shop local, shop often, and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from River Ridge Hardware.
Well, welcome back. Rick Clark. I've seen you on Facebook. I've seen you on Mike Rowe's program. They kind of gave a little tribute to you, and they surprised the heck out of you, didn't they?
They sure did.
Yeah. And you've done wonderful things. I've said this for the last, how long have we been in COVID-19? The last
20 years.
Yes. Seems like 40, okay?
Yeah.
But we are a community. We are a city. We are a county. We're a metropolitan area, but we're still a town. And the townspeople have come out to help their brothers and sisters, haven't they?
Yes, they sure have.
Where did the idea of giving backpacks start?
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to have a hard time not crying on your show, so I'm going to try my best.
Oh, okay.
The older I get, the more I cry. But,
okay.
With the pandemic and the first stay-at-home order, I wasn't able to go out and do the outreach work that I normally do, which is with my nonprofit giving backpacks. And
right.
Because that kind of came to a halt, I was at home like everybody else. I was driving my wife crazy, trying to figure out what I could do from home.
Right.
And so she had this idea. She said, well, you have a lot of followers. Why don't you just do a video and get whatever you need to off your chest? And so I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what I could do? Maybe I could do a live video, and I could try to get my friends and family on Facebook to donate maybe $200, and we could buy some pizza from Pizzerita and then have it delivered to a homeless shelter. And I thought that would help a struggling business in this time and also feed people that need the food. And so that first night, if you go back and watch the video, it's super awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I actually called the pizza place on the live show and ordered pizza. But we raised almost $600 that first night. And so we fed 2 shelters that night. And that blew me away. And so the next day, my wife's like, you going to do that show again? And I was like, well, I think everybody gave all the money they have. I'm not going to go on and ask for more money. And she goes, try it. So
and look silly when no one calls.
Yeah, right? And so the second day, we raised $1,000 in 15 minutes on this silly little live video. And I was like, okay, something's happening, and I'm not sure what it is, but wow, this is really cool. So we started contacting restaurants and saying, hey, if we could buy a whole bunch of meals full price.
Right.
We want to pay full price.
Right.
And I'll get into that later. But these restaurant owners, they always try to give you a deal because they're so appreciative.
No, right.
And I get in fights with them on the phone. No, I want to pay full price for your
Right.
meals. And then tell me how many you can make. I'm going to buy those. And then I have a team of volunteer drivers who will pick up the food. And we're just going to go deliver it to first responders, to truck drivers, to fire
I love
departments.
it.
And so we just started doing that. And to make a long story short, that first stay-at-home order, we were doing that for about 42 days, and we raised $52,000.
Are you kidding?
And we helped. Like,
How much did that surprise you?
oh,
Really?
I still am just like,
yeah.
okay, I really thought after 3 or 4 days, people were going to be tapped out because everybody's kind of anxious and not sure what's going to happen with their money, right? Well,
But so in social media, the word keeps multiplying. That's what
and there's
was
people
going
out
on.
there that are doing well and they want to help.
Yes.
And there's people that aren't doing well, and I tell them, do not give $1. Come to this show
Yeah.
for humanity, just to watch the greatest things you'll ever see happen
Right,
in 15
right.
minutes. And so it really started becoming a
love
home for people,
Yeah.
For all sorts of people, whether you're at this income bracket or this income bracket. It doesn't matter what size you are, what color your skin is. Everybody can meet there, and we can do amazing things together. And so the mandate came through again about 25 days ago. We had to lock back down. And so
Yeah.
my wife looked at me and goes, you know what you got to do? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the time and energy because I'm also going to school, you know? And
Yeah.
so,
Well, it's just a master's degree.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And it's just a 15-minute video.
And everybody's watching you because you're one of the older guys in class,
Right,
right?
right. I look like I work at Gonzaga, and I've often been, mistaken for like a lost parent on campus. But, so we started doing this video again, and I tell you what, we've crushed that first set of records. Now, in 24 days, we've raised $62,000. So
Okay.
we're up over $110,000 for the total.
And your first night was 600.
600, and I was trying to raise 200.
Yeah. Tell me what you did yesterday.
Yesterday we raised just shy of $5,000. It was like $4,997 on the 62nd day that it's getting bigger the more days.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. But
Is that allowing you to go back to some of the same restaurants, or are you adding others?
so we'd never double dip, we call
Okay,
it. We haven't
okay.
helped anybody a second time, even though I would love to.
Right.
But we have we've helped 92 restaurants, and there's probably 250 more to go. So
Right.
so
That'll be a while.
I don't even know if we're gonna be able to reach everybody, but we're literally doing everything we can. We wake up every day and we do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's phone calls. It's waiting for phone calls back. If a restaurant doesn't get back to me quick enough, I have to put them in a different slot. And so
Yeah.
there's a lot of time and effort with
Yeah.
some helpers that I have. Thank the Lord for my volunteer helpers because I couldn't do this by myself.
Yeah.
And then,
But all your help is volunteer.
yeah. And we're all able to stay at home and do this. So
Yes.
and then the people that are now we're actually opening up the food to the community because
Yes.
so many people are struggling with
Yeah.
food insecurity.
Matter of fact, as we record this morning, Tuesday morning at about 11 o'clock, there are folks lined up for takeout
at
what-
Mirando's
Yeah.
in the Valley, a Mexican
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
And he's
And you know what was disappointing? You told me before we went on, and that is that the owner doesn't get to meet you because you had to be here.
Right. He really
Yeah.
wanted to meet me, and I was like, but he's also serving more meals at 6:00. This is a day we're going to do 2 meals.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm going to go back there and I'll be
Okay.
able to meet him at 6:00 tonight.
Okay.
So
But will you be doing your show at 5?
I'll be doing my show at 5. So I might actually do the show in line at the restaurant. Like
Yeah.
I can do this anywhere with my phone, really. So
Welcome to the technology
Oh, I know.
today. You know,
It still baffles my mind.
You think about where we are today, and we've done several things live and via phone or phone coming in and so forth. It's kind of funny.
And if you use social media correctly, you can move mountains. I mean,
Yes,
and
yes,
that's the key. Is
absolutely.
let's focus this in a good energy.
Yeah.
And look what it does.
Well,
you
we
know?
just took on kind of a partnership with Lucky Bird Brands, which is a digital marketing company primarily, and they've taken some of our shows from like 1,000 or 1,100 viewers to like 9,000.
Wow.
So we're getting out there too.
Yes.
In fact, if I remember tonight, we'll share your program, okay?
Okay, cool.
But we'll try to watch that. As I promised before the show, I can't always remember or be somewhere where I can do it.
Right? No, I get that.
But it's great. I wanted to do that. In fact, before I even called you to be on this, I thought about doing that last week, and then I got sidetracked because we're getting ready to launch some new shows at the beginning of the year
Right.
and everything else. It's just been the good news is we're all busy right
Yes.
now, aren't we?
Yes.
Aren't we?
It's a good problem to have.
How do you make money?
I don't make any money.
Yeah.
This is all given right back to the community. It's a temporary thing.
Yeah,
We're
but
just
how
trying
do
to-
you survive?
So I'm an executive director of my own nonprofit. So I
Okay,
have a salary from my nonprofit.
Okay, that's
And-
how you get paid.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay,
And then,
okay.
I also have school money that I rely on because I'm in school.
Right,
Um,
okay.
and
I was
we're-
just worried for you.
No,
you know?
we're doing great, and we're very simple people.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that we're helping, it's worth it to us. And this isn't going to go on forever. This is just we're trying to stop the bleeding for these businesses.
Yeah,
is what we're
absolutely.
Trying to do, so.
Rick, and it relates to what you're talking about. Our station primarily relates to and works with small businesses in town and community. That was my mission, is to highlight small business and the community.
Right.
When we started, and we started in just audio a few years ago, about 5 years ago, and now we do video. But the audio goes up on some of the audio podcast platforms
Yeah,
as well. Welcome to today, right? I couldn't even begin to tell you them all. I have tech guys that take care
Right,
of that. But I talk to a lot of business people, small business owners, and I have for the last 5 or 6 months. And I'll tell you, most of them, when I ask how they're doing, if they don't tear up, they come close to it.
Yeah.
And their first concern to a person has been, yeah, I might go bankrupt, Ken. I may have to close down our restaurant or our shop or whatever. I'm most worried about my family, meaning my employees.
Yep. Absolutely. I've
And-
met some of the most wonderful business owners.
Absolutely. And we've heard in the past years about, well, this small business guy, he's made it, and everything else. Ask him how she's doing right now.
Yeah.
When the big stores can remain open and the little stores have a tough time.
And you have to remember, these are people who all throughout the year, they do fundraisers for organizations.
Absolutely.
They are the go-to people. They're the ones usually in the seat where they're the givers.
Yes.
Well, now they're facing a world that they've never faced before.
Yeah.
So when I talk to business owners, I cry with them, and I'm like, I want to know how you're doing personally, because you cannot carry the load of the world on
No.
your back. I understand you love your employees and you want to save your restaurant. I get that. But how are you doing as a person? And they're not doing well. And so
No.
when they open their doors and 150 people are lined up outside ready to support them,
Gives
it
them-
will rock you to your core.
it gives your faith back in humanity, doesn't it?
It's
Okay, if people wanted to do something right now, how could they do it and help you out?
so the best way is just to go on to the Facebook page called Spokane Corn Team, TEAM, because we're
Okay.
all in this together as a team.
Good, yes.
And right on the cover photo is the ways you can donate, and that's through Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
the easiest way to do it. And then you'll just see some awesome stuff while you're on the page, because
Good.
there's 15,000 people who are like dug in and ready to help. They're not just people checking and looky-loos. They're
Yeah.
people who want to get busy helping, and so it's an army of people, and it's amazing. It'll
It comes back to we're a town of people helping people.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and we can talk more about this. But I also want to talk about you.
Uh-oh.
Because not too many people, I'll be kind, over 40, okay, go back to school, basically full time, and get their bachelor's, much less graduate, celebrate, and then decide. Maybe they're a little crazy to go back, to go back and get their master's. I'm not going to ask you if you're going after your doctorate.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
I don't think I'll have an answer for that one.
Okay. We'll be right back after this. Thanks.
Well, this is Looms Day in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate, but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloomsday wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
Welcome to Apex Plaza, Spokane's one-stop cannabis destination. Apex Cannabis features thousands of economy, value, and luxury cannabis products. Cannagear features hemp-based CBD products, glass, goods, and gear. Stop by 1325 North Division to experience the Apex difference.
This product has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risk associated with the consumption of this product. For use only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Well, Rick Clark here from Giving Backpacks and what's the name of the
Spokane Corn Team?
Yeah, team with TEAM.
Yep.
Right? Okay. All right. Now, you're not the typical. We have 4 fantastic GU interns
Yes.
here, okay? All 4 of them, 3 gals and 1 guy, all look a lot younger than you. So you're not the typical college student, are you?
I'm not.
What got you to do that, to go back to school?
Well, 2015, which wasn't that long ago, I was 44 years old, living in a trailer. I owed 3 months rent. My Vista was being shut off. My phone was shut off. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a car. I mean, I was pretty much at the lowest point I'd ever been. And so I stood up that day, and I remember looking in the mirror and telling myself, you're not going out like this. I mean, you can't. I spent my whole life in Spokane in poverty. And so that's another long, long story. But it led me to a point where I had to do something. And so going back to the community college, and after being a high school dropout for 28 years, I was terrified. I hadn't opened a book in almost 30 years. And
Right.
so I went to Spokane Community College to ask if I could become a student. I took the assessment test. I scored really low, but they guaranteed me people had scored lower, and that's all I needed to hear, really, because I just needed to know that I had a chance at it.
Yeah.
And I went through the community college process in 2 years. Lots of people my age. There was nothing. It was just an amazing experience.
A lot of folks go back to get retooled,
Yeah.
if you will.
And
Yeah.
it felt like home to me. My
Good.
brain opened up, and I was a sponge. I was on honor roll the whole time I was there. Shocked myself, shocked my family. Nobody in my family had ever gone to college. And so then my son graduated the same day with me from the Falls, and I was at the SEC. We graduated on the same day. And he said, Dad, you could, with your grades and with your Giving Backpacks program that I'd already started by then, you could go to Gonzaga. And I literally laughed and said, why don't I apply for Yale or Harvard while I'm at it? Because to me, that was a ridiculous dream that I didn't have any business dreaming. And then that night I thought about it, and I thought, I want my son to reach for the stars, so why would I not do that? And so,
Better to reach and fail than to not reach.
And it really hit home when my son told me to do that. So I sat down and I wrote a letter to Gonzaga as part of the process of applying, and I said, basically, this kid who had been in your town all his life, hungry and poor, is standing at your door wanting to change his family's life. I hope you open it. And so 3 weeks later, I got a beautiful manila envelope in the mail from Gonzaga, and it was stuffed with a letter that said, basically, we've been waiting for you, Rick. Here's $34,000 to get started.
Oh, wow.
You're off and running. And so then I went through and got my bachelor's degree with 7,000 in a sea of 7,000 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
I was going to school and sitting in classes every day, looking like I was the janitor or I was the teacher. But I met some of the most amazing young people who are ready to go out into this world and lead.
Didn't you love the interchange with them?
Oh, it was. I'll never forget it. I made some good friends. And this new group of leaders, it's a different type of leader, you guys. Yeah. We're done with leadership, taking advantage of people and doing the wrong thing. And these people, these kids, I call them kids because they're my kids' age.
Well, you're a kid to me, okay?
Yeah.
At 74.
It makes me feel great. I'll come hug you right over the table. But, I made some great friends. And then right at the end of my graduation, or about a week before I graduated, Mike Rowe came into town and surprised me and paid off my tuition and gave me about $70,000 worth of product for my Giving Backpacks program.
Right.
Filled 4 storage units with deodorants, soaps, toothbrushes. It was amazing. These amazing survival backpacks.
The deodorant wasn't for you, though, was it?
No.
Okay, I thought maybe Mike knew something that we didn't.
No, he wanted to make sure we were the best smelling city ever. And so
I love it.
We have deodorant out all over. But and so it just kind of led to me realizing that it doesn't matter what your situation is. That doesn't define who you are as a person.
Right.
So my goal every day from this point on until I'm not here anymore is to reach other people who are just like me, who just doubt themselves just a little bit, and they don't know what's just below that surface, which is amazing stuff. And so I'm trying to light that fire with people. And then this COVID thing came to town, and it kind of changed the gears, but it's not really, because we're feeding
Look
people.
what you're doing.
Yeah, it's all in just loving and caring for each other with dignity and not being mean to each other.
Yeah.
And it's a super simple recipe, and people are attracted to it. So we're changing the culture right now in the way that we look at homelessness, poverty, standing in a food line. If you go to these restaurants and you get food, nobody knows how much money you make because it's very dignified. You just go up and get a meal with everybody else,
right?
And nobody needs to know what you're going through,
right?
And that helps a lot,
right?
So now I'm doing my master's program in organizational leadership.
And when did you start that?
About 2 months ago. So I'm just finishing my first
this fall.
semester.
That's what
Yes.
I thought. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm loving that because now the science and math and all the stuff I didn't really want to take, that's all gone. And I'm focusing on leadership and servant leadership and teaching.
Okay. A great place to learn too.
Oh man, it's the best.
Yeah. So what will you do with that when you come out?
People have been asking me that since I started going back to school, and I'm a person of faith, and so God was with me the first day that I met the homeless man that I met, who changed the course of my life.
Right.
And he's shown me every step of the way that I don't need to always know exactly what's right around the corner, because he's going to take care of it. And so it's going to be leadership in some form. It's going to be inspiring and encouraging people. I don't care if that's going town to town and just shouting with a bullhorn. I want people to know their worth, and that they're it's never too late to go back to school. It's never too late to start over. So
well, it's funny. I was maybe a little like you in some ways. I grew up in a very nice community in California, went to community college and all that. I didn't like high school that well, didn't like college. I got by.
Right.
That was it.
Yep.
Okay, I was not a real learner.
Right.
I suck up whatever I can now.
Right? It's
I
amazing.
mean, and so I tell people, don't wait till you're in your 60s or 70s or even your 50s, and you've taken advantage of that.
Well, you can take things from people. You can take my house, you can take my car away from me, but you can't take what I learned.
Right. Okay, we do have to have you back one of these times to talk. I've heard about your story, so I know a little bit, enough to be dangerous probably, but one of the places that I think you're going to get called to is to help teach, because you're enthusiastic. You've got your own story to tell. We tend to listen to people when it's happened to them, not out of the book.
Right.
And I think somehow at some point when you get your master's, you've got to spend some time teaching in the classroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Really consider that.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a great story. Thank you for what you're doing on behalf of the community. Thank you for what you're doing, because you're putting on a smile on several people that own restaurants in town. You're putting a smile on people who are picking up a meal for themselves and their spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, their kids, and so forth. And it doesn't get better than that.
It sure doesn't.
You must go to sleep at night thinking how great this community is. I was going to say how great you are, but it's not you.
No,
I know that.
so
how great
honored.
the community has stepped up to what you've put out. You've challenged the community, and sometimes we need to be challenged.
I feel very honored to be in the position that I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm just applying everything I learned at Gonzaga,
Yes.
real life in real time. And so if anybody needs an attaboy, it's that darn school, because they know how to take care of people and they know how to love people. And I'm just trying to prove to them that my education is very serious.
The spotlight's kind of on you, isn't it?
Yeah, but I want to put it on the community, because they're
But I
amazing.
mean, you got to come through.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Get that degree.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Rick, number one, nice to meet you in person.
You too.
All of you watching need to meet this guy. Where are you going to be tonight?
So tonight at Mirando's Mexican restaurant out in the valley, I'll be there at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Just checking out.
So if you want to come get a meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come say hi.
Now, can people pick up a couple meals, or do you?
You have to be present to be there.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
encourage
So
people
bring
to
your
bring their whole family.
Bring your.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to ask that.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to have them get there and go, oh my
I need
God.
10 for the house. It's like, no, there's
No,
people
no.
standing in line. So
Yeah.
we try to be as fair as we
And
can.
that's only
And it's
fair.
not perfect, but it's definitely working.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Thank
Have
you.
fun tonight. You got to be happy what the community is done
Oh,
for.
I love
for-
Spokane.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yes.
All right. Well,
Thank you so
Merry
much.
Christmas to you and your family, and to your working board and volunteers that step up. That's important. And so,
Thank you, Kent. I really
all right.
appreciate it.
Thank you. See you next year.
All right.
Okay. And thanks for watching the Pulse of Spokane, everybody. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.